What if Lost in Translation was even more heart-throbbing? Rental Family stars Brendan Fraser as a lonely, washed-up American actor named Philip, who starts a gig in Tokyo working for a rental family agency, which entails secretly role-playing as someone in the life of a stranger, as the company openly admits they need a token white guy. Philip does a lot of good for the lives of the people he's assigned to, but to the boss of the rental family company, it's a little too much good. I watched this movie with my brother, and it was a great film to see with him. As I've mentioned before, he's in the US Marines, now a Marine captain. He was based in Okinawa for a few years and visited Tokyo often, so he recognized several of the filming locations. And he also pointed out to me little details in the dialogue that you probably wouldn't catch on to unless you've lived in Japan for a substantial amount of time. For example, one of Philip's clients is this elderly man with dementia, who's played beautifully by an actor named Akira Emoto. There's one point where he demands that he not be on camera, and my brother noted that this implies that he comes from an age of an old Japanese superstition that said that a video or photograph taken of you would steal your soul. The writing indeed comes from a Japanese filmmaker, Hikari by name, who sheds light on this real-life Asian institution and the plethora of moral dilemmas and complexities that arise from it. Until seeing the movie, I never knew about these rental family agencies that have actors temporarily playing roles in people's lives, but they really exist, and they've been around in Japan as well as China and Korea since the 1980s. As a very visual person, cinema has always been the best way for me to learn about the world and the people living in it. So I'm gratified when a movie comes around every now and then that enlightens me to something that I had absolutely no prior knowledge of. Rental Family is one of those movies. After everything that Brendan Fraser has been through, it's great to see him active in film again. His big comeback, of course, was The Whale, and here he's playing another big-hearted guy who's all about being genuine. And while The Whale may have taken more impressively strenuous acting work on his part, I have to say I liked him even more in Rental Family. It's his character that really makes this an excellent film about US-Japan relations, because the defining principle for America is individual liberty, and for Japan it's self-discipline. And when you have so much of one, it has you longing for the other. And that's really what Philip embodies as the American who's integrated into the lives of these Japanese people. Serious emotional dilemmas arise from this, though, because the function of the rental family system isn't about giving their clients the human connections that the heart yearns for. It's ultimately just a means to an end. The other major role that Philip plays is the estranged father of a young girl named Mia, not because the agency or even her mother thinks she needs a father in her life, but merely just so she can get into a private school. And this is all arranged in secret, so Mia really does believe that Philip is her biological father who left her behind, but has now come back to care for her. And to the understanding of anyone, Philip really does start to think of her as his own daughter. The section of the movie that really runs deep is when the company boss has grown concerned that Philip has become too emotionally involved with his clients, and his mind has wandered from what the ultimate goal is with them. So he has it in mind to quickly wrap up Philip's time with them. This is too much for Philip to come to terms with, though, because those kind of personal connections, the ones that turn everything around for you when you're most lonely and give your life purpose, that's not the kind of thing that you can simply forget about and just replace. And that's a feeling that really hits home for me right now. So, to those of you who have wondered what's been getting me down as of late, you now have an idea of one of the major reasons why. The cinematography does a lot for both the scenes of empty loneliness and the more bright and hopeful moments, from the mundane still shots of the streets of Tokyo to some gorgeously vivid shots of cherry trees at the end. The soundtrack is equally exquisite, coming from Alex Summers and Yonzi, who have done several collaborations before. I've always loved the dreamlike sound of Yonzi's music in general, and this is no exception. Seriously, award season is among us, and nobody is talking about the biggest snub of them all, Rental Family for Best Everything. I have but one quibble with this near-perfect movie. It's that darn trope when, after no other hints of rainy weather, it's suddenly raining when a funeral is happening, and every person present has got a black umbrella out. Everybody's got a funeral umbrella. Yours is black, but mine is yellow. I come close to pulling my hair out whenever that cliched visual turns up. That aside, this is a downright beautiful film in how it's told, how it's acted, how it's shot, and how it's composed. It's both emotionally crippling and uplifting, shedding light on a complex issue that doesn't get much exposure. It is one of the best films in the last few years. Scoring on the Factor Facts, I'm going to give Rental Family a 92%. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this review helpful. Like and share, subscribe for more. This is Pop Culture. I'm Alex Pop.